Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hi friends, welcome to Sharp Ends. Today I'm going to be talking about this Bark River Knives Bravo 1 LT edition in Magnacut. I've recently been getting more and more into fixed blade knives, and I got to tell you, this was like the first time I've spent a lot of money on a fixed blade. Well, that's not necessarily true. My Mako was kind of expensive. North Arms are pretty inexpensive. I think the North Arms knives that I have are pretty inexpensive compared to, but this was kind of like a larger knife, fixed blade, that cost a little bit of money. It was more important to me to get a LT version of their knives, which is a 3/16 instead of a true eighth, which doesn't sound like much of a difference, but it actually, from what I've read, makes a large difference in the slicing of it. So that's how I ended up with Magnacut, and kind of how I ended up with the Bravo. Bravo is a really good knife, has a long history, and a lot of people like it for good reason. The blade shape to it is great. It's got a very nice convex grind to it, so it goes, from flat, and it goes down in a curve to the edge. And the edge is super sharp. I've used this for whittling and for cutting and for some chopping, and it's still really sharp. So the Magnacut holds an edge for a really long time. Is it as tough as the 3V? No. Is it a lot more stain resistant than the 3V? Yes. I don't plan on using this as a survival tool and making a shelter with this, let's say. I do plan on doing some bushcraft with it, some food prep, and having it around the kitchen, and also to be camping off of a boat with it. So the Magnacut makes a lot of sense to me. This Micarta is spectacular. So I did an unboxing of this, and there were like these two little stained areas here on the Micarta, and you can go back and look at that video, but it's just disappeared with use. I don't even know what that was. I really don't. The only other thing that I got with this, it has a little bit of a scratch here on this pin, and that came shipped like that. Now, Bark River knives, when it gets knocked at all, is for its quality control. I got this through DLT, and you should check out DLT. They're a great company to deal with. They ship out extraordinarily fast. If you order something, chances are you're going to get it within the same week, if not a couple of days after. There are people who complain about getting their Bark Rivers because they hand grind them on site, and sometimes the grind could be a little inconsistent. Or there's little things like, there was a little staining in the Micarta. Now that it's totally disappeared, though, I can't even complain about that. There's just, and there's a little scratch over here. That's just something that you're going to have to live with if you want a knife that's half a custom, basically. I mean, these knives are handmade, well, at least half handmade, in-house, ground in-house. And, and it's American made. So sometimes you're going to get a little thing that's a little bit different. And you know what? You can send it back to DLT or whatever company, or you can send it back to Bark Rivers and they'll fix it. Now, from what I've heard, and I don't know this from personal experience because I've just really gotten into the fixed knife world, is that Bark River was great up until about, I can't remember, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, and then the quality control really went under, and then recently they've been getting better. That's what I've read. That's what I've seen on other YouTubers saying, knife YouTubers say. So I don't have a problem with that. I should also say that this is a review of this knife I haven't used it for half a year. I will have a long-term review of this knife once I've gone camping a few times and exposed it to some harsh weather and some salt and things like that. I'll have another review of it. This is kind of an interim review. So far, I like it. I like the handle material. I like how the pins are level with this. I think that it shaves really nicely and really well. I haven't tried using a fire steel on this. I don't usually use fire steels. I usually just use a lighter. I'm not that kind of a bushcraft guy. I have used this to split some kindling. I haven't split like big logs with it, but I've split some fairly substantial logs, and you can't really tell that I mean, you like right there, there's a couple of little scratches on the side there, but it's nothing really that matters to me. And it, for as far as like a little bit of hard use is great. The Bravo 1 comes with and without this little ramp here. I chose to have the ramp there because my thumb is always going there naturally, and I like that. The jimping isn't overly aggressive there. The sides seem a little well-rounded to me to be really good with a fire steel, but again, I haven't tried it. I'm sure it would work, but maybe not the best. Don't know. Maybe this summer when I actually take it out camping, I'll try it. The sheath that it comes with, I didn't get the DLT will oil it for you, or they'll waterproof it for you. I didn't have them do that. I'll probably just end up doing that myself. But when I first got it, it was very stiff and very flat. Now it's automatically got this, I've kept my knife in here. It's automatically got this, and it fits in there real nice. And when you push it down there, it's never going to fall out. Right hand carry only. I've been toying with the idea of getting like a Kyvex sheath for this or something, but I don't think I will. This is such a nice leather sheath that I'll probably use it as is for the foreseeable future. I might go ahead and treat it with some oil, with some water repellent myself. I might not. We'll see. I probably will, I guess, because I'm going to be sailing with this, and if I'm going to be carrying on the boat especially, or in my hulls between camp spots, then I'll probably want the leather to be a little bit better protected. The weight of this knife, I think, is perfect. The balance on this knife is a little, it's pretty much perfect. It's right about here is the balance point. So, for my personal I like it to be just a little bit handle heavy and not knife heavy. So that's what it is. With your finger naturally right here, it tends to be, that point will make it fall back into your hand, and that's good. And I like that. The different grips on this, full finger grip, you can get a lot of different grips on it. Hammer, whatever. And the full choil coming through here obviously makes it really good for batoning. I, again, am not going to baton through a full log, but I do through kindling and other stuff. And I've used it for shaving, making shavings to start my fire on my fireplace. So although I don't use it for a flint to a fire steel, I do use it for prepping my fires in my fireplace, and it's done wonderful for that. The carving of it, and I'm not that good at feather sticking, so I can't really tell if it is a good feather sticker or not, because I am not a good feather sticker. But as far as being able to shave off little shavings of wood in order to get some smaller flakes and stuff, absolutely perfect. I think that's all I have for you today. So I will have a long-term review of this. I've already done an unboxing. I'm really glad that I got this knife, and I actually have a couple of other fixed blades coming in pretty soon. So it seems like I'm kind of making that transition into getting into fixed blades a little bit more. Gosh, this knife just looks so good. I really like the aesthetics of this so much. Ergos are great. Aesthetics are great. And this is base model. I think I paid $250 for it. And Bark River knives get much more expensive than that. But as far as a base model, Bravo 1, this is just, it's stellar. I'm really happy with it right now. And I will do a long-term review of it. But I can't see my opinion going any lower than it is right now. But maybe it will. Or maybe it'll go higher. But right now, I'm in love. I think this is a very, very sexy knife. I like the branding on here. I think that's well done. I like that they have the Magnacut on there. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me here at Sharp Ends. As always, if you liked what you saw, please tell your friends and leave a like and subscribe. And if you didn't like what you saw, please tell your enemies, but please tell someone. And have a good rest of your weekend. See you next time.